Hungary's foreign minister didn't just criticize Brussels, he detonated a political grenade. Péter Szijjártó's scathing remarks on EU leadership, trade failures, and military aid to Ukraine have ignited yet another firestorm between Budapest and the European establishment. Denouncing the European Commission's cowardice in facing Donald Trump's presidency, Szijjártó accused EU leaders of knowingly pushing the bloc into a trade war with Washington. They knew, but they did nothing, he charged in a fiery Facebook post, blaming European bureaucracy for killing the economy, with policies like Russian sanctions, tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles, and a complete failure to negotiate fair trade terms with the US.
The whole world, including Brussels and the European Commission, led by von der Leyen, knew very well that Donald Trump wants a balanced trade conditions. They also knew in Brussels that if they don't do anything, Washington will introduce customs. They knew, but they did nothing, because they are incompetent and especially cowards. They are cowards because they bullied Donald Trump for 8 years, and now they don't dare to face him. The von der Leyen-like leadership in Brussels is now facing another blow to the European economy.
He pointed out that lowering the EU's 10% tariff on American cars to 2.5%, matching the US duty on European vehicles, could have prevented Trump's expected retaliation. Instead, Brussels stood paralyzed, leaving the continent vulnerable to yet another economic crisis, he argued. Szijjártó vowed that Hungary would take matters into its own hands. What Brussels damaged, we must fix here in Budapest, he declared, announcing upcoming negotiations with the American administration to establish stronger Hungarian-American economic ties. But his attack wasn't just economic, it was deeply political. Speaking on Hungarian television days ago, he accused pro-war European liberals of conspiring to sabotage U.S. Russia negotiations and prolong the Ukraine war. He was responding to an EU proposal, seen by Reuters, urging member states to contribute billions in military aid, including 1.5 million rounds of artillery shells for Kyiv. Hungary, he made clear, would not support it.
Pro-war European liberals are not interested in the success of the Russian negotiations with the US. In fact, they are conspiring and preparing action to prevent the success of the Russian negotiations with the US. They are not being shy. They are stating openly and clearly that they want to put together a big money and arms package that will allow Ukraine to say no. A deal that someone called bad.
The Hungarian offensive didn't stop there. Prime Minister Viktor Orbán, Europe's most defiant leader, mocked the EU's diplomatic failures, portraying Brussels as a powerless bystander, while Washington takes charge of the Ukraine crisis. Addressing supporters in Budapest, he ridiculed European leaders for acting as Washington's subordinates and hailed Trump as his comrade in arms. Orbán, a longtime critic of the West's Ukraine strategy, declared the war effort a failure, predicting that Kyiv, or whatever remains of it, would inevitably become a buffer zone between NATO and Russia.
És különös aktualitást ad ezeknek a kérdéseknek a most történt amerikai elnökválasztás.